Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We're still working to fix up our economy and make sure that that can continue to function. Gold in New South Wales. Excellent. We're still expanding the whole bureaucracy here. The bureaucracy is expanding to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy. And we're getting some extra ports. We're still not as solid on convoys as I would like. How's the price of clippers? Price of clippers is extremely... Wait, where are they? Here they go. Yeah, we're very good on clippers overall. The whole wood and iron situations are a little bit rough, but I'm hoping that switching over to emphasizing steel is going to allow us to... is going to slightly mitigate that issue. So where's steel? Steel's pretty expensive as well. The steel mills are as productive as they can be with the price of iron being what it is. So I'm hoping this will lead to a massive increase in the overall productivity of those steel mills. That's my hope. We have access to precision tools to produce more luxury furniture. Let's go ahead and do it. Ooh, no, that did not work. Benin is improving relations and grassroots support for law. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for private health insurance has spread like wildfire across Great Britain, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates and small-time social club. They're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm exploits reform. Use the common ground to calm the masses. Let's go with the first one. Using the common ground to calm the masses is important, but the population in the lowlands is actually not that high. So I'm not necessarily concerning myself with that all that much. Alright, here we go. We've got the bureaucracy to increase... We've almost got the bureaucracy to increase our colonization level, so let's go ahead and get started on that. I think incorporating Ireland is going to be next, and after that it's going to be getting our other institutions built up. And there's steel frame construction. So, let's go ahead and start... we'll start with the one in the home counties, and we'll go from there. So what's that done to the market? Market for steel is still okay. Market for iron has gone down. Right, so, we'll get another one. Lancashire. How does that affect the market? Alright, steel's topped up. So, we'll leave that for now. Private construction sector is queuing in some steel mills actually right now. And they got several more down in the queue, so I think that will continue to be useful. That will, of course, goof up the iron market because of the increased price of iron from the extra steel mills, but I'm hoping we'll be able to tolerate that. So I think when this set of steel mills completes, we'll go ahead and make another swap. As you can see, this is becoming a serious issue for our economy, so I'm not going to go too far, too fast with that. Ooh, chemical bleaching. Hey, and we got a success. So, that's a new method for our paper mills. It's going to make them way more productive and reduce the cost of paper, which will make the government govern more. If we go to bone china, that's really going to drop out our glass production. We don't want that, especially when we're switching over to steel frame construction. So, let's go ahead and get the Midlands over to steel frame. And that is dramatically increasing the price of steel. Let's take a look at our trade routes to see if we're exporting any steel. We don't need to be importing tea from China. We don't need to be exporting glass to Russia. We don't need to be exporting luxury clothes to China. We definitely don't need to be exporting sugar to the Austrian Empire. Or glass. We can use these. These are unproductive. scrap our trade routes to France. I misunderstood the prompt and thought I was getting rid of the trade routes. I was only getting rid of the prompt. The steel export to Prussia, we can scrap. Iron import from Spain, we'll keep that for now. Let's export to Sicily, we can get rid of that. We'll keep the opium export to Japan. And the furniture export to China for the moment. Cool. So, we're just getting through the last of these increases in overall government admin. And there is a go-go uprising. So where is this physically located? It's over here. Wonderful. What country is this? They don't have any meaningful armed forces. We'll just mobilize the army of Australia to go and deal with them. Should not be a problem going forward. Democratic solidarity. In a pro-suffrage gesture, Robert Doyle has released a positive endorsement of the Chartist Party for its stalwart supporting of voting rights in Great Britain. There is no issue in Her Majesty's government greater than that of the franchise, the method by which the people may decide any future issue which comes their way. With this in mind, my endorsement should come to no surprise. The Chartist Party is the guardian of British franchise that gives them a lot of momentum, or perhaps some party members more than others. This makes the armed forces stronger and less momentum. I'm going to give them a bunch of momentum. That's good for us. Chartist Party is in the government right now. I thought we had another party, but I guess not. Anyway, it's fine. That's just fine. Let's just make sure I don't have any zones that I could be colonizing that I'm not. Leastwise, not over here. Hopefully we can get this finished out quickly so that we can get cultural exclusion. Kindly burn this letter. James Dundas, a prominent member of the Tory party, has been accused of gross corruption. He strenuously denied all allegations until damning letters surfaced signed by him. Yes, I'm willing to discuss the contents of these letters with the committee, if only I am given time to study the contents of these letters in my personal chambers first. Of course, on my honor, I will not alter or destroy any of the evidence. Honest. They should stand by it and lose a bunch of momentum, or he should be isolated to protect the rest of the party. Let me see. He's the head. He's an Anglican and a Commodore. We're going to go with the first one. We're going to lose them a bunch of momentum, and hopefully that will really get the election going where we want it to go, which is positively for us. So, take a look at goods again. The price of steel has fallen significantly since the private sector started building up all those steel mills. So we'll go ahead. Hey, here's that thing. Private health insurance. Private health insurance has been passed, which is wonderful. We're going to go ahead and grab one more, this one in Yorkshire, set of construction sectors, moving over to steel frame construction. That's going to continue to increase construction capacity. So, at this point, we'll move to go to cultural exclusion, and that will radicalize the Anglican Church. I think we can tolerate that, though. Defensive pact with Portugal? Sure. So they're going to start a movement against it. But we've got 70% strength in here. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Even if it becomes revolutionary, I think we can completely tolerate that. Alright, our preparation for war and go-go is all systems go, so that should be just fine. Alright, 2 arms. So we're starting to get into our military expansion as we finish out the last of the railway and paper mill construction projects. Price of paper is still pretty high, but that's okay. That's not so bad at all. This situation could definitely be worse. Obviously, the military expansion is going to cost us a giant pile of cash, but it won't necessarily be an issue. Do we still have Canadian Unifier? We do, for another few months. So once that gets done, we'll go ahead and finish the Confederation of Canada, and that will be just wonderful. It'll probably be good to go basically as soon as this war is finished. These railways are building up. The West Country is also experiencing a little bit of turmoil. Alright, so there's the election. Chartist Party has about 60% of the votes, and the Peel Party about 20%. Yeah, that puts us right where we want to be. I'm completely pleased with this. Yes, the petit bourgeois are unhappy about the move to cultural exclusion. What a good flavor debuff. The flavor debuff for angry petite bourgeoisie in Britain is called Bah Humbug. It reduces influence and increases radicals, standard of living decreases. That's phenomenal. 1 billion out of 10. Ah, that's wonderful. That's really good. Alright. We're letting it go. Cultural exclusion, actually, the Anglican Church is not agitating against it, so we're already at 71% success chance, and we've already had one success, so I think this is just going to go down without a hitch. I'm hoping it goes down without a hitch. It's going to be a little bit suboptimal for our finances, but overall it's going to be fine. This war is just done. Success in the war place is ours. So, let's take a look at taking over some of these states. This would be 13 infamy to take over Buganda. But I think it's actually... Well, no. Let's finish our military expansion here so that if anyone decides to get scrappy with us, so basically if there's an advanced power that with a good strong economy that decides to get scrappy with us over Buganda, we can have enough artillery in our armies to really be in a position to challenge them. We're still a little short on convoys. We are doing better with bureaucracy now. I think I'm going to increase... No, I think incorporating Ireland is going to matter more here. Artistic expressions. A popular English newsletter has released a statement by Robert Doyle endorsing several poets known for their sympathies to the petite bourgeoisie's interests. The ideals of love and comradeship are present therein, but when one looks beyond the surface, one is faced with the precise conditions for such a thing. Those things which foster the highest ideals can be made manifest in one's daily life. The ideals of English culture stand behind our reforms, where the loyalty and support of the petite bourgeoisie should be rewarded. I'm going to do it the second one, because overall this is going to be worth it for us. 76%, that's still good. Did Hanover become a Prussian protectorate? It did not. Interesting. Kind of assumed that would just sort of go down without a hitch for Prussia, but apparently not. We are continuing to build up barracks. That is just fine. Price of steel is still not that high, so let's go ahead and flip over another one of our construction sectors. We'll do the one in Wales next. And price of steel is mostly still good to go. So let's continue. We'll grab the one in the West Country. Alright, now price of steel is at its high range, so that's okay. Let's go ahead and check the construction queue. Private construction is mostly building up glass works at this time. We do have one set of steel mills in the pot. Obviously, the public construction is dramatically increasing the size of the army. So we're going to see how this impacts our finances going forward. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but it's going to be significant. Hopefully this will lead us to another success event. Very good. Let's move us towards voting. And once that's done, we'll all be good to go. Do we have anywhere where we have unrealized taxes? No, we have a flat 14%. That's so much. Queen Victoria, are you a tax waster or something? Tax waste. What's causing this? Oh, we have some... Because we have some turmoil. That's what it is. You have turmoil in the Midlands, and we got a bunch of unincorporated territories in the West Country. Gosh, Shaggy. Alright. Well, this is what you get for having low law enforcement in Vicky 3. Alright. I'm feeling pretty good about our finances overall. We've still got 1.5 pages of construction queue to work out, so I think that's going to be just about the middle of next year. At this point, I'm comfortable commencing our aggressive expansions here in Africa. So let's go ahead and take over that state. I'm going to grab... Let me see. Buganda has 20 battalions. I'm going to grab the Army of the Mediterranean to deal with that. We'll see who gets involved. They've added their war goal. Very good. Plenty of countries I could sway, but none whose help I really feel like I need in this situation. I'm going to try to take Rift Valley. Foreign emulation. The success that France has seen with its policies of cultural exclusion have been noticed by supporters of Robert Doyle, who point towards it as an example of ideal government. Doyle held up the newspaper with an expression of amusement on his face. You see this? This is an admission of victory. It may call us spies, agents of foreign powers, but it also concedes that the change we desire is not, indeed, something alien, without precedent. What succeeded in France will succeed in the British Empire. This makes the petite bourgeoisie mad, but gives us reduced enactment time and increased chance. Or Great Britain is not France. It's deteriorated relations with France and gives us just enactment chance. Relations with France couldn't be worse than they are already, so we'll go with the second one. Hey, look at that. We're still at minus 100. Yeah, they're embargoing us, we're embargoing them. The economy is stupid. So I think after this, I'll try to grab another tiny chunk of Africa from Denmark, and do I have a defensive pact with the Netherlands? I don't. So I'll try to grab more from them as well. And absent mind, there have been reports that Chichester Ackroyd, leader of the petite bourgeoisie, is not attending meetings or fulfilling his obligations. We can no longer ignore his absence. Ackroyd barely even responds when we call his name. A blank stare, he almost doesn't blink. Let's go for a walk, we'd tell him, and he nods in silence, and in silence we walk. A doctor needs to see him. This gives him psychological treatment for 2 years, but it removes his psychological treatment. Or he can get the help he needs in an asylum, he dies. Let's go with the first one. Cool. Alright, and our army is basically on its way here. So we can get that completely squared away. This is... Okay, we're down to one entire page's worth on these barracks. Market's still pretty solid. Price of steel is going down, relatively speaking. So I'm feeling pretty confident overall on that. We've also got breech-loading artillery opening here, so let's take a look at what the difference is going to be with that so that we can be ready for it when it comes. Oh my gosh, the Army of India doesn't have a leader. Let's go with this bigoted pillager. He's a positivist who aligns with the industrialists. That's good enough for me. Maybe other armies that don't have a leader. The Army of Ireland needs another. So we'll go with a brave defender from the armed forces. That'll be good. That's actually a surprise that the ratio is so low given the comparison, but I think we'll be good to go. So, iron supply is continuing to increase. Let's flip over the construction industries in East Anglia. And there's cultural exclusion. We got the Vox Populi achievement, which is for pass a law with the support of an agitator. Neat. Of course, this has completely messed up our authority. So we'll go ahead and cut another consumption tax. We'll leave the other consumption taxes in place. This has also helped with our radicalization a little bit. Right, I was looking at armies. So, mobile artillery costs 2 artillery per unit. Shrapnel artillery costs 3 artillery and 3 ammunition. So, as long as our munitions industries have the capacity to flex upward, which shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to go ahead and increase our levels of our military industry. And there's breech-loading artillery. I could go to covered markets. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh, let's go to free churches as well. I didn't realize I was still doing that. Alright, and now all of our armies can go ahead and increase and upgrade their artillery. Should be able to do this from the tab. No, I cannot. Alright. Household division. Upgrade. Army of the West Indies. Upgrade. Home Army. Upgrade. Army of the Mediterranean, you're in the middle of a fight. You also only have 1 artillery battalion, so it's not going to matter that much. Army of Canada, upgrade. Army of the Cape of Good Hope. You don't have any artillery. Army of Australia, you don't have any artillery. Alright, perfect. So, that having been done, we're going to go to modern nursing. And then we're going to get some new naval techs. Ironclad's actually already spreading to us, which is very good. So in that case, we're going to cancel that, because that's going to get there by itself. And we'll throw in their gantry cranes. That allows us to unlock industrial ports, which is going to be really important for our ports. The thing that the thing is named. That. Conquer Uganda. That's, of course, going to take forever, because that's functionally taking over the entire country. So how has that affected our overall situation? The munitions industry is greatly overburdened by the fact that it now has to create munitions for the artillery. But is the private sector building that up? Not yet. So we may need to do that ourselves using the government construction. Oh gosh, we don't have explosive shells yet. We don't have dynamite yet? Am I a stoop? I'm a stoop. I completely forgot. Alright, so we need to get dynamite. There we go. I'm actually going to queue that up at the top. And then we're going to queue modern nursing, ironclad, gantry cranes, and Chinook back in. We have a new colonial war. So we'll put the Army of the Mediterranean there since... We'll put the Army of the Mediterranean there since they're kind of still over the other place. And we'll take another run at conquering one of these zones. I forgot to continue confederating Canada. Friends, I keep forgetting about Canada. I gotta sort out Canada. Again, nobody seems too interested in actually stopping us from doing this. Unfortunately, the big technological changes we've made have really caused some difficulties. In terms of our finances, but I'm hoping that's not a permanent thing. In fact, now that we're not in a giant war, I'm going to go ahead and drop the military wages back down to middle. That's something I should have done before and forgot about, but it is what it is. So, are we finished with our trade agreement with Sind? Absolutely. Alright, we've just about finished out with our military expansion. So now we're basically just chilling and building logging camps in Africa, which is fine. We'll go ahead and throw those banana plantations up to the top. So what's next in terms of our construction needs? It's got to be steel mills, right? Yeah, it's got to be. I can't believe I completely forgot to research freaking dynamite. That's actually going to make our extraction industry much more effective. Oh my goodness, there's a peasant revolt happening in France. France, you fools. How could you do this? That's the war with Nyamwezi broken out. So we can just go ahead and... Trucial Bourgeois Revolt. So the Trucial states... Trucial Bourgeois Revolt has no battalions. So we'll just go ahead and send the Army of Australia to deal with it. 10th British Army is just some skirmish infantry. They can go ahead and be folded into another army. China is intervening in the French Civil War, which is really interesting. Yeah, that's wild. You go ahead with that. So hopefully this university, this education expansion is going to get us to our innovation cap. Still no? Still no. But we're close. We're close now. I think we can do a little bit more. And there's the ironclad. Perfect. So I think in terms of education, we can do defensive pact with Spain. No, thank you. Oh my goodness. There's a whole situation going on in Europe right now. There's an Italian revolt. The Republic of San Marco standing up against Austria-Hungary, and Austria-Hungary has Russian and Spanish support. So I'm going to not get involved in that. Offer support, I don't need your help. Against the Trucial Rebellion, Belgium. It's really complete. I couldn't be more confident in my ability to win that war, to be honest, right now. So we'll go ahead and leave that as it is. Let's see. We're still incorporating Leinster. No. But we got some bureaucratic capacity. Let's go ahead and grab Connaught. For support. No, I don't need, it's a revolt in the Trucial states. Brazil wants in the customs union? Absolutely. I would love to have Brazil in my customs union. That's wonderful. Baganda and Lacustrine Bantu have secession movements. So where are they located at? Lindi in Uganda and Baganda. Yeah, I think it's all kind of over here. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll mobilize the army of the Cape of Good Hope. And once those break out, we'll actually have you... You're already in that HQ? I think they're fine. So there's the Trucial military revolt. Again, absolutely no concern over this this situation whatsoever. I got enough armies mobilized to be able to take out both of these rebellions whenever they happen. And of course, this is good to go. So these rebellions are happening, I think, in this general zone. We've had a lot of uprisings to deal with, friends. We got the universities done with, but I was going to build more and I just forgot. I got distracted by other stuff. We need a few more. Let's build up a level 6 university in East Anglia and a level 6 one in the home counties. And then we'll build up 2 levels in Wales and 2 levels in Ulster. And hopefully that'll let us get everywhere we want to be. We'll put the lumber camps in the Niger Delta above them, and just to make sure those get done. Because we are actually genuinely really short on lumber all over our customs union. And that... Secession in Baganda, okay. So there's our... So we'll just put the army on that one. And then once the army of the Cape of Good Hope is ready to go, we'll put that unit over on the other one. The Bantu secession. And it's going down. Cool. Radical. I'm so pleased. And the situation in the Trucial Coast is good to go. So they'll capitulate as soon as their war support hits -100. That's just fine. There's gold in Guyana. That's delightful. No gold mines, not yet at least. Cool. So that gets done with our wood expansion. I know there's a bunch of logging camps in Brazil, probably, but I can't... The way that menu is shaped, I can't really get there. Netherlands owns Defensive Pact? No. No, thank you, sir. I would prefer to steal bits of your colonial empire every few years before we get started with that. Restricted child labor. Heck yes, that's something I want for sure. Everyone's happy with that. Let's do it. I said I was going to get to the end of these wars and then end the episode, but or at least I thought it, and that's the same as saying it, right? Who's trying to preserve child labor? Nobody. Some nerds, that's it. 2 armies. So we're just going to fight the same war that we fought a minute ago, and it won't be a problem. I guess that other uprising just went and sorted itself out. Our infamy is back down to 0, so we'll be able to do more expansions as we get going along. Overall, I think I'm very confident in my ability to complete this war with a minimum of effort. Although, again, the continuous mobilization of forces has left our finances in a bit of a state. Another round of university expansion should finally get us out from under not being number one in the tech tree, which I say as though it's some kind of giant penalty, and it isn't. We're still number one in a lot of areas, but getting up to being first in the tech tree and being able to stay there is pretty tough, and being able to get there with what we got is going to be really important. In terms of prestige, we're doing really well. Obviously, France has fallen down on account of their civil war, and Austria-Hungary is also having a little bit of a difficulty because of this. The Republic of San Marco trying to move forward there. I'm going to go ahead and invest in a munitions industry expansion in Yorkshire, and one in the West Country. We're going to have distributed industry for that, and we're just going to throw those all the way at the top of the queue. How's your standard of living? Standard of living is still basically stagnant, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Alright, so once we get another week past, they'll surrender. And then our wars will be done. Alright, and that gets us this territory back. So, we actually have access to Equatoria. This is a regular malaria state, so we'll go ahead and get expanding there as well. And do we have access to here? This is a regular malaria state. And we are already... Okay, it's here. Here's the flip over point. So we're good to go with that colonization project. And we should get restricted child labor in 3 passes, which is going to be a total of about a year. And that'll be very good for our overall radicalization situation and every other thing we're worrying about. We're not currently in a war. Why can't I... Why can't I conquer... Relations are too good. Well, that's unfortunate. How good are relations? Relations are super duper good. Well, it is what it is. Denmark might accept if we just say, give me this territory. But that'll be for next time. I'm just going to go ahead here so that this turns over. Perfect. And that is the end of the episode. Friends, we've dealt with a lot of rebellions. We've conquered a little bit of territory in Africa. We'll go on to conquer more. But for this episode, that is all we've got. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I will see you all on the other side.